The GCC and Egypt have accused Qatar of deepening instability in the Middle East. Let's examine this claim and see who has really undermined democracy in the region. In 2011, Arab youth took to the streets across the region and demanded that their dictatorial leaders step down. But today, in Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, Syria, Bahrain and Yemen, counter-revolutions are in full throttle. So how did this come to be? In Tunisia, the birthplace of the Arab uprisings, Saudi Arabia and the UAE offered refuge to ousted dictator Ben Ali. Then, in 2012, the two countries strongly opposed the democratically elected Al-Nahda coalition. Instead, they opted to fund Salafist preachers and the old regime-affiliated Nida Tunis party. Since the military coup that ousted Mohammed Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt in 2013, the UAE and Saudi Arabia combined have given Egypt more than $30 billion. This includes $5 billion of direct deposits to the central bank. Meanwhile, former Field Marshal Abdel Fattah al-Sisi overthrew the country's first democratically elected president. He has also subsequently detained more than 40,000 political prisoners, cracked down on the media, the judiciary, and academic institutes. In post-Gaddafi Libya, where conflict has ravaged the country, the UAE and Egypt are supporting another Libyan military strongman, Khalifa Haftar, who is referred to by his inner circle as the Butcher and has been accused of war crimes. The UAE, alongside Egypt, provide direct military support to Haftar despite an international arms embargo on the country. Haftar is also actively undermining the internationally recognized Government of National Accord based in the west of the country. In 2011, Saudi Arabia and the UAE supported Yemen's longtime ruler Abdullah Saleh, who was facing a wave of popular protests. When things got difficult for Saleh, they offered him exile and refuge in Saudi Arabia. They also forced Yemen to accept Saleh once again as their leader. When that didn't work, Saudi Arabia put together a GCC-led coalition, including Qatar, to stop an aerial campaign against Houthi rebels. Since the Saudi-led intervention started in March 2015, 3.3 million people have been displaced and 18 million Yemenis are in need of humanitarian assistance, according to the UN. In Syria, all of Qatar, Saudi Arabia and the UAE have provided support for Syrian rebels fighting Bashar al-Assad. However, several reports have indicated that funds from private donors in all three countries have ended up in the hands of groups close to Daesh and Al-Qaeda. In Bahrain, when mass protests erupted calling for the removal of the ruling monarchy, Saudi Arabia directly intervened, sending troops to help the Bahraini military to repress the popular revolt. This action was supported by other Gulf countries, including Qatar, that reluctantly supported this intervention. In Palestine, the Gaza-based Hamas movement won nationwide elections in 2007. But Riyadh and the UAE have proceeded to brand the group a terrorist organization. Today, after 50 years of Israeli occupation, the Saudi bloc has showed little attention to solving the crisis and is now exerting pressure on Qatar to exile Hamas's leadership. So is this Gulf crisis about maintaining the authoritarian status quo in the region, or about Qatar's alleged support of terrorism?